This video will be dealing with how to write a feature article. Feature articles actually have quite a number of components to them, but by breaking it down, it will be quite easy for you to write one. So to begin with, let's look at the purpose. The purpose of a feature article is firstly to inform. It's to give more information on a topic than a reader would get in a normal news story. It is also to persuade, to put a point of view or position to try and change the reader's mind. It's also to entertain. Reading a feature article should be enjoyable for the reader. In order to achieve these outcomes, feature articles use a diamond structure. Diamond structures mean that at the beginning of the article, very little hard fact is provided. Something very interesting is used instead. So this could be a narrative, or this could be an historical comparison of what life used to be like, or a long quote. As we move through the article, the author begins to include more and more factual information until we get to the middle of the article, at which point most of the fact is being provided. Then from that point on, you begin to taper off and return to more entertaining forms of writing. A good tip is that by your third paragraph, you should be beginning to move into more of your informative writing and less away from the entertainment. The tone of the writing is formal, however you may write in the first person. All punctuation is relevant to a feature article, but for this task we'd really like to focus on you mastering the use of the comma, quotation marks and colons. There's videos explaining how to do each of those. Let's begin by looking at the main points of a feature article. One of the first things you'll notice is the use of columns. Columns are designed to break the information up to make it appear easy to read to the reader. For this very reason, we also use short paragraphs. It makes the reader believe that they're going to be dealing with very short, sharp chunks of information. We also have a headline. The headline is designed to catch the reader's interest and also explain a little bit about the story. It also includes a byline. It says who the story is by, and it says very succinctly what the story is about. Let's look at some of the main features. One of the things you'll also notice is the use of a breakout box. This is text from the article which has been copied out and enlarged. It's often highly interesting or emotional language which is designed to pique the reader's interest. In the same way, we also use very interesting images about what is being discussed, and we also make sure that we caption those images so the reader knows exactly what they're looking at. Returning now to talking about the use of the diamond structure. In this example, this writer has used a narrative format. So to begin with, they're using something that's going to pique the reader's interest. As Aron steers his four-wheel drive through the ribbon of highway that cuts across the desert between Hebron and Jerusalem, he starts to recall his time serving for the Israeli Defense Force. He begins to tell of the pride he felt enlisting when he was 18, freshly out of school and excited to do his duty by serving in the National Army. Here there's no particular fact. It was simply being brought on a journey to do with Aron. But by the third paragraph, we're starting to introduce fact. Aron is like thousands of other Israeli citizens who must complete 3 years of military service once they turn 18. Israel introduced compulsory military service in 1949, soon after the country was founded, under the Defense Services Law. As we move through the article, we continue to give information and persuade the reader. But as we come to the end, we then return to our narrative. When I ask Aron about his position, he pulls a perplexed expression. On the one hand, he loves his homeland, the country he was born and where he will raise his children. On the other hand, he is upset by the continued mistreatment of the Palestinian people. So in that way, we lead the reader through an entertaining experience, but also an informative and persuasive experience.